Hello, my name is Armando, and in this video I'm going to continue making my ERP API. And today I'm going to work with the generation of invoices. So to start with, I need to define what I want to achieve with the creation of the invoices. And I need to plan a little bit about that. I actually have the documentation, but I haven't filled the parameters. And because of that, I think that the first thing that I have to do is to define those things. So I want to be able to create the invoice first. And well, I need to have some fields, and I need to define the structure of the of the of the parameters that I need to send of or the table. So I'm going to check here in my documentation if I already wrote something about it, because I haven't programmed in a while, in a lot of time, because of my job, and I forgot what I made here. So I'm going to check, and I wrote some instructions and some notes, and I'll start working with it. And the first instruction is, in order to create a new invoice, barcodes and quantities should be enough, as each product has its details as price and name. So I need to create the product struct. I need to define the properties of the product, or the fields that the products table should have. So I'll start with product. And as you can see, I already worked with it with this in the documentation, but I'm not sure if I already made something with my API. So I'm going to check, and I'm going to start doing it. So I don't have any products file here in the data folder or directory, so I'm going to create a new directory, a new file called products. So I create this, I declare the package as data, and I'll create a new struct called product, and let's see what are the fields for this. So I have name, description, price, weight. I don't know why I have weight here. I don't remember. I think that this doesn't go here, because I actually, well, the products actually might be weighted. For example, fruits or vegetables can be weighted. So that should be declared in the unit field, and only for the units or quantity, instead of saying 2 pieces or 2 multiplied by the unit might might explain or might say that instead of 2 pieces there are 2 kilos or something like that. So I'm going to exclude this field from here. So I am going to modify my documentation first because that's very important. So I'm going to check for weight. I actually don't want this field. Okay, so it seems that I already modified this successfully. I'm going to import the file again. And this product part should not mention the weight. Okay, so now I don't have it, and I just have name, description, price, size, unit, category ID, tax ID, promotion ID, is active, so I don't have to delete all of the products when they are out of the sales of, or if the store doesn't sell that product anymore. Instead of deleting, I can just modify this is active field to false and use that false tag or the that false value to avoid showing the inactive products. I also have a thumbnail field, a barcode, and SKU, and an expiration date that might be used to send alerts, so the store is able to know when some product is about to expire. Okay, so I'm going to make the struct. I find useful to have this here, and I'm going to this new file. And I'm going to start declaring all of the fields. So first off, I need to have an ID. No, I won't use an ID. Because it's declared automatically using GORM. So I'm going to use the GORM model, which includes the ID, the creation date, the modification date, and the delete date. And also it have a field for metadata. Okay, so I have the GORM model. I also have a name, a description. Going to save this in order to be able to import automatically the GORM model. I also have a price, I have size, unit, category ID, I also have tax ID, promotion ID, the boolean field of isActive, the recipe ID. No, recipe ID, no. No. I'm wrong. I have the thumbnail, a barcode, and an SKU. And expiration date. Okay, so I'm going to declare this as a string, and also to say that to declare the size of this field, or the size limit. So I'm going to use gorm and say that the size should be no bigger than, I don't know, like how much space those 50 characters use. Let's see. I'm going to write something with 50 characters. I think that this is way longer than something that I should use, or that someone would use as a product name. So 50 characters should be more than enough, but yeah, just for security, I'm going to limit it to 100 characters, and this should be not null. The description is also a string. The price should be a float. I think that float 32 should be more than enough. And I'm going to use a gorm tag to describe the structure of this price. The size should be a string. The unit should be a string. The category ID should be an integer. The tax ID should be also an integer. The promotion ID should also be an integer. But I might use an unsigned integer. And also this is, I made it optional. Also the tax ID. The isActive is a boolean. The thumbnail is a string. The barcode should be an unsigned int. The SKU also should be an unsigned int. And I can make this a I should make this unique. So I'm going to use gorm again and to use this unique tag. the expiration date. It's a date, but I'm not sure about how to declare dates here. I think that I can use the word date just like that. Okay, so let's say no. Let me verify this. So if I use date only, it should work. So I'm going back this, and I'm going to use date only. I also can use only the string containing the date, but I want to be sure if or what of the options are better. If using a string with a date or using a type, but I'm not sure if there's a type for only the date. Well, I think that I can also use time without declaring the hour. So this should work, I hope. Okay, so I think that that is also it. Almost it. And description might be optional. Price shouldn't be optional. Size might be optional. Unit shouldn't be optional. Is active should be not null. But I can use a default value, declaring all of the new products as active by default. And I think that's very much it. So I'll start working with the product handlers and routes. And let's see. As you can see, when I make a post product, in my documentation, this show the category where it belongs and all of the information of the category, but I am not sure if I want this because it's a lot of information returned from a simple petition. So I don't think it's a good idea to show all of this. But I'll keep it just in case. So I'm going to show a category which should be a product category. I also can have a tax ID which might show the tax. And this is a hard thing to program because you should know how the taxes work in your country, and it'll be different from country to country. So I'm going to use a simple model, like showing the type of tax with a name, a rate, a description, if it's active, and a category if it is categorized. So I'm going to use the golang model. I also have a name of the tax. I'll also have a rate, which is a float. I also have a description, which is a string. Also an isActive boolean. And a category for the taxes, which is a string. Okay, so now I can show the tax here. And I can also show the promotion here. Which I haven't declared yet. So I'm going to declare it here. The discount type, I plan it to be something like percentage of discount, a discount price, or buy some and get something. I called it buy get. So I also have the promotions here. I can search for it like promotion. I made this documentation a long time ago, and I stopped making advancement in my API because of my job. And I actually have a lot of time, but when I come home, what I want to do is to rest a lot. And what I used to do is to use Instagram a lot, and I try to not making a lot of effort, physical effort, because my job actually have or involves a lot of effort. And yeah, that's the reason why I haven't made some improvements or changes to my API here. So, well, I don't know why I haven't declared the promotions here yet. But as far as I remember, I want to call them like I already told you. I'm going to use like small words to describe them. So I'm going to use something like something. Let me see. I'm going to use something like discount percentage or discount price or buy get. Okay. So what else do I have here? Depending of the type of the discount, I might need some fields like buy quantity for the buy get, or a get quantity, or discount price, or discount percentage. We should be an integer, or it might be also an unsigned int. And also it should have the start and end date. I'm going to move the microphone, so sorry for the noise. So now I can have this product promotion here, and it should be it. But I'm going to verify if it works. So now I'm going to start by creating a new handler called create product handler. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to parse the JSON and because of the reason of me not knowing the error response here, I only sent the exact error as it is returned, so I don't have a custom error message. Okay. I'm going to drink a little bit of Coca-Cola here. I'm watching a previous program that I made for the creation of a product handler, but I used transactions, and I am not sure if this is a good idea for the product creation, because the creation of a product is something extremely simple. So it doesn't have, or it doesn't make much sense to me to make transactions and to uh, have atomicity for this simple operation. So I'm reconsidering using the transactions or not using them. So the way that I used to do this was to create a transaction, which I might call also something like TX. It'll, I check if the category exists. So I first declare a category field, and I search for the category using the category ID that comes from the input. And then I check for errors. And if the error is different from nil, I'm going to make a rollback. I'm going to return a message. don't know what's wrong here. I'm not sure. If I actually use a promotion while creating a new product, which is something that I consider something weird, but it's possible. So if a product does have a promotion and we use a promotion ID in order to create a new product, I'm going to verify that the product promotion exists. So I'm going to declare a variable called promotion of type data.promotion, product promotion. And look for the promotion using obviously the input promotion ID. I also can look for the tax ID. So if I use a tax ID, if I use a tax ID, I need to check if that tax does exist. So I'm going to search for it using the tax ID. I can also check if the product already exists or if something with that SKU or with that code bar already exists. So what I'm going to do is to make the verification or the validation creating a new variable called existing product. So I'm not using an if statement here to verify that there is an empty or non-empty field, because I actually need to have this product name, and I actually need to have a code bar. It's mandatory. So I need to make the query. I'm going to check for the barcode, which I'm not sure if I have this here, but I'm going to check. Barcode. And if something else fails, I can also check that. So and it should be it. So now I can test it by creating a new route and also by creating a new product using all of that. So I'm going to create here a product router group. And it should be it. So if I go to localhost 8080 slash API slash v1 slash products, I can make a post petition to create a new product. I'm not sure if this is going to work because of the fact that I am using an already created database. So I am reusing it. So I am not sure if it's going to work. And also I haven't made the product migration. Okay, so I'm going to try to make it work with my actual database, but if it doesn't work, I would have to configure a new database here. And in the case that it doesn't work, now I can check my code. So I'm going to restart the server. I'm going to Postman, going to make a post petition, and I'm going to use the default values for the creation of a new product. So I'm going to copy this. And delete all of the fields that I'm not going to use. So, okay. So I actually don't have a I'm not going to use a tax ID. I'm not going to use a category ID. Or actually I will use them because I do have those tables created in my actual database. And I'm going to use it just like this. So I send this and it says that the category it's not found. So I'm going to try with another category number until I actually find a category that actually exists. Or I don't have any of those categories or any category existing. So I'm going to leave it like this, and it keeps saying that the category doesn't exist. Well, because I am running out of time, I am going to fix this without recording it, and I'm going to upload the fixings in the next video. So I hope you see it in the next video.